Krista.
Hi, y'all.
All right, I'm trying to make some room for me. I'm gonna put these right here. They're very nice and fluffy. This is how you can hide, you know, when you've eaten too much. You just sit like this. But actually, we just finished filming the promo video for the Pussyhat Project. I'm really honored to be able to have done that for you. It was 60 seconds, and it's coming out. We didn't have nearly enough time to really talk about the project. Krista, let's be honest. When you first told me that you were doing something that involved the word pussy, I was very shocked, and I didn't know whether or not I should say pussy because of how charged the word that is, obviously, historically, but even more so in the contemporary political climate, the usage of it in such an inappropriate way. I feel like you're turning it around. Is that what's happening?
That's the goal. I mean, you get it, Cal.
Yeah,
you get it. I think Kel came into my home, and he noticed like, wow, Krista has a book called Pussy. It's true. I'm reading a book called Pussy by Regina Thomhauser, and she makes a really great case about how we don't really have a word for that area of our body, like, you know. And so how can we talk about it, and how can we advocate for it and us, right? If we
I call it Genesis because this is where life begins.
Genesis. I mean, there's all sorts of words for it, right? Yeah. But anyway, pussy. I'll just say I feel like I'm not saying it nearly enough, and I think I'm so comfortable with it now because I'm working on the Pussyhat Project day in, day out. It's like pussy this, pussy that, like pussy power hat, pussy.
And I have to, you know, I always have to like intellectualize things to some degree. So I'm thinking, okay, so you're making wool hats. Wool hats keep you warm in a cold climate. The political climate for women still in 2017 is still very bleak. So there's a duality into this project. So tell me a little bit about the march and the significance of this project in that march.
Well, I really encourage you to everyone to read the Facebook page that the march put up, the Women's March on Washington D.C. Because what they wrote is beautiful. It's so inclusive, and the thing is, it's not just about women's rights. It's about the rights of all marginalized groups, and I think women are one of them. You know, so it's so and I think like, the more we advocate for like every marginalized group, the more we can all rise up together and like protect our rights, you know, and make the world a safer place for everyone.
Yeah, for everybody. And I don't know, I'm just excited about the project, and I'm excited because I know when Krista's behind it, it's going to be done in the right way. It's going to be done in a big way. It's going to be highly coordinated. Communications is going to be on point. But this is the other thing that I'm fascinated in general by craftiness.
Give it a try. You can
my God, I've never done this. Okay.
Okay, so this is the easiest stitch. You go in here. Akello is so good with his hands. I know he'll get this, and then he'll push it. You're just intimidated.
I'm so intimidated.
Don't be intimidated.
I have no idea what just happened right there.
It's the same thing over and over. So you go here.
I go in there, I pull it, and I flip it around.
And then you put this yarn here to create that loop.
Okay. And create the loop.
Now there's a hole here, and so you're basically moving every loop here onto this needle.
Okay, so I'm gonna try just from what I learned. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in here like this, and I'm gonna bring the yarn around, and I'm gonna bring it back around.
Yes, and now you want this needle to go
up under there. No,
through here.
Through there.
Yeah. And now you pull it off.
Oh gosh.
You got it. Yeah. Ta-da! He did it! His first stitch all by himself. This one right here.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I could sew buttons on, but that's pretty much where it ends. But wow!
You still have this.
I had no idea that the needles are gonna be thick like that. Are there different size needles?
I'm doing like a beginner one.
Okay.
It's faster, as you can see. It's because it's thicker yarn. And the needles are thicker. It's a great like setup to learn on. And like the official patterns made with thinner yarn. That's still considered pretty thick. It's called worsted weight, and we specifically chose worsted weight because it's like the 8.5 and 11 inch you know how paper the most common 8.5 by 11 worsted weight is the most common.
So it's like the big crayons that you had when you were little.
Yeah, so this is sort of like, you know, for people who are just getting started, and also people who just like the look of this. It's going to be Oh, I want to mention something.
Yeah.
Since I have a little airtime with you.
Yeah.
Is really all you need to do is be able to knit like a scarf that's like 11 inches by 17 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost there. Afterward, you'll fold it in half, right? And you'll sew up the sides with your extra yarn. And this is the hat, people.
That's
it's
it.
just a square.
It's the sides.
Yeah.
How do you get the ears?
Well, when you put it on your head, you see your head is round.
Okay.
And then these ears will
So
just appear.
the ears just appear.
Once it forms,
Yeah.
like once it gets
Yeah.
on your head, it's like.
So what is the anticipated number of men that are going to be at the march? And do you feel they're included? Do you think men feel included? Like, I really think it's for women. I think it's great that men support women, but I think, for this particular
families
march.
are invited, men
Yeah.
are, like, everyone is included.
Yeah.
It's all marginalized groups, and like, and honestly, it's a very powerful statement when men get involved. Sort of the core team of the Pussyhat Project is made up of myself, my friend Jaina, my friend Aurora. Aurora did all the artwork. Jaina is an architect. I mean, and by the way, I'm the only one in the group that's single. So, Jaina and Aurora are married. Anyway, but I bring this up because their husbands have been so supportive.
Yeah.
And it's been a beautiful thing to observe, and honestly to be benefited by.
Now, are you the only one that knits?
No, Jane and I actually learned how to crochet together, which is another. So yeah.
So
Jana
knitting and
knits
crocheting,
crochets.
people are different things. The crocheting has the longer needles, right?
The crochet is a single needle, so if you see someone with one needle, and I have one around here, I'll probably crochet a hat too. It's fun for sure. But knitting is something my grandmother taught me, which is why it's like extra special for me to like knit.
Yeah, I think that's sweet.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain, well, and it's true, there's a certain care involved in handmade things. There's a certain, when you build a collective consciousness, I think, I mean, people could go out and they could like manufacture these hats, right?
Well, can I just say something? It's like what I discovered in doing this project, I wasn't necessarily thinking about at the beginning, is that like we're not asking people to consume. We're asking people to create.
Yeah.
And I think people are aching to create and like, like they want to do something other than just, like consuming. They want to be able to do something for a cause they believe in. And so I don't. In some ways, it's a bigger ask. We're not just asking them to. We're asking people to like, will you knit a whole hat? Like
the first thing that I thought of too is is when I learned about yarn graffiti.
Oh, yarn bombing! I love yarn bombing.
It's called, called different things, but
totally.
I actually learned about yarn. They call it yarn graffiti at a sociology conference.
Oh, cool!
Showing activism, and I was like, wait a second, you're telling me like late at night people go out and they crochet and they cover trees and they cover light posts, and it's really quite beautiful to see. But you know that these stitches were every stitch, it's like homemade food versus canned food, and it just really does. I think it really does. I really believe that the people's individual efforts and energy that go into the development of a material project is retained in that material project.
Yes, and I think like when you see the march happening, and you see this like so many people, like it's just going to be the biggest crowd, like 1.7 million, right? Is the aim to just fill up the
right.
march. But like if they're each wearing a hat, and these hats are all handmade.
Yeah.
Then it's like they're each representing someone else out there.
So then that so that makes it like 3.4 million possibly.
Yeah, exactly.
More the people that can actually fit. Well, look, I want to thank you for talking to me about this, and where can people find more information?
The website is the best resource, www.pussyhatproject.com, and you can also follow us on all the different social media platforms. We would love to engage with you and have you be involved. Yeah, and even if you can't crochet, there's something that you can do, and if you can knit and crochet or sew, or you know someone that can, you can urge them to get involved. Yeah, spread the word. We'll be updating the site with like all different ways you can be involved. Yeah, so don't be shy. Come on over. Yeah. It's an awesome project. It's an awesome project for kids. Yes. Classrooms or whatever. But people let's get on board. Let's get on board and do it. Yay. History in the making, one crochet needle, one yarn spool at a time. Yeah. Until next time.